Hey everybody, Mr. Movies87 here, bringing you a new episode of Gaming Breakdown. And today we're talking about this is my all-time favorite system, along with one of them, but this is my overall favorite, even beating out the Super Nintendo, the PlayStation 1. Released in Japan in December of '94 and in September of '95 for America and Europe, this was Sony's first entry into the console game there, and their first system overall in their vast lineup of consoles and handhelds and whatnot. This thing has a stupidly good library. This picture right here is only a small sample of that. Gives you a demonstration, well, a glimpse of what great games there are. There's Lunar 2, there's Silver Star Story Complete, Final Fantasy Chronicles. I'm listing off the ones that are in this picture, obviously. They might be a little hard to see, but you should be able to tell by the logo and the picture and all that. But also, just for clarification, really. But anyway, yeah, there's Chronicles, Final Fantasy Anthology, Tactics, 7, 8, 9, Xenogears, Wild Arms 2, Metal Gear Solid, Crash Bandicoot, Spyro, Tomb Raider, Castlevania. The list goes on and on and on and on and on. This is what really got me into RPGs, I think, big time. Because when we had our Super Nintendo originally, I was a little too young, I think, to really fully grasp an RPG. I know we played some when we were younger, of course, but this is when I really started to get into the genre. Because this is my first taste of all these great games. I mean, we got our PS1, I believe, not until '98. I believe it was a Christmas present for us. Our parents had it kept under just a little box for us as a secret. That was our big present for the year for my sister, brother, and I. I think our first game we got for it was, I think, NFL Game Day '98, and then also Crash Bandicoot Warped. Those were our first couple for them. And we started delving more into RPGs as we saw them. I believe I mentioned this in the Super Nintendo episode of this. Joe's Video Store, which was right down the street from our place, like a 5-minute drive, if that. We were able to rent games for there for like a weekend or a week at a time. That was our first taste of getting all these great games, like getting Final Fantasy 7, 8, and 9, all that fun stuff there. Eventually buying these ourselves, like for Christmas presents, or getting them as presents for Christmas and birthdays and whatnot. I'm just looking at these games here. Memories abound. What else? What else can be said about the system that hasn't already been said? So many people I know out there have grown up with this thing. So many have great memories of playing games on this, and the system has something for everybody. Not only for the RPG fanatics like me. There's the shooters, first-person shooters, the stealth games, action adventure. There's platformers, the arcade styles. Like, you name it, the PS1 has it. And one thing, special shout out to Lunar 2 Eternal Blue Complete. That's the one very top left there with the ginormous box. Because if you bought that when it came out, you got like a shit ton of stuff with it. You got the big collector's box, a copy of Lucia's pendant. I think there was a world map in there. Oh, what else was in there? Like, seriously, what else wasn't in there? Also, one of the coolest things about that when it came out, Pompey, go away, go away, go away. Yeah, one of the coolest things when that first came out, if you pre-ordered the game, you got a galleon punching puppet. Can you fucking beat that for a pre-order bonus? I mean, come on, that's ridiculous. I would love to have one of those these days, just to have. They're probably like stupidly expensive, though, I would have to imagine. But yeah, Lunar 2 gets a special shout out because that is my all-time favorite game ever. And if you guys know me and how many games I've played over the years, and all the RPGs and whatnot, to say that this game is my all-time favorite says a lot. Because to me, that game is perfection. From top to bottom, it's fucking wonderful. I've already did an LP of it twice on my old channel before, and I'll probably do it again on this new one, just because it's that damn good. I mean, seriously. It's just, everything about it is stellar. The graphics, the music, the gameplay, the characters, the story, the hamana. That's a thing, by the way. It's that good. It really is. I could talk about it forever, but you really need to experience it yourself and play it if you can. I cannot recommend it enough. Um, what else? Oh, another shout out on here for a game that's not listed. At least I don't see in this picture. Again, this is only a small sample, so of course not every single game for the PS1 is listed here. But Southern Frontier 2 as well. I believe I got that in I forget when I got it. It was years and years and years ago. I saw the cover of it. I was like, "Ooh, this looks cool." I picked it up, looked at it. Excuse me. I saw the back cover there, and what really blew me away was the watercolor style of art in the game. Everything was hand drawn in that game with the watercolor art there, which is something that you really hadn't seen that often back then. I think that came out in 2000, I believe, so near the end of the PS1 era. Very underrated game that doesn't really get enough attention there, which I think is crap, to be blunt, because that game is amazing as well. One of the best soundtracks ever on the PS1 as well. The songs, the battle themes, the talent themes, well, the battle themes especially are fantastic. I mean, it's ridiculous. That'll be something too. I did LP that on my old channel. I want to do a re-LP of that for the new one, actually. I've been wanting to for a while, just hadn't got around to it yet. But yeah, that was one of my earlier projects on my first channel anyway, and that really does deserve a redo, like a brand new, fresh redo there. This this system's amazing. I really can't say anything else about it, even though I'm about to. I don't want to stop the video now. I've only been going for 6 minutes. I could go on for 6 hours if I really wanted to. Just ramble on again. It's about anything, any game in particular about this. It was so funny too. On Crash Bandicoot Warped when we first got that, I would have been Christmas of '98, so I would have been 8 years old. The one part there, first world, making waves, how it's spelled is Makin and then apostrophe. I thought it was pronounced Mackin waves. I have no idea why I thought that. It's still funny to me to this day that I thought that. I mean, I was 8. Come on, what do you expect? Like, really? What else? Oh yeah, Wild Arms. That deserves a shout out here as well, just because we went through so many different copies of the game because it wouldn't work for us for whatever reason. We went through I think 2 or 3 copies of it. We would get up to Mount Zenom and we get into a battle and it would always freeze. Like Cecilia would jump into position and then you'd see the little like dust cloud that appears when your characters hit the ground. And I always remember this because it looked to be like the shape of a bird. Like you'd see like its eyes, its beak, its couple of wings. I just that's always stuck in my mind for many many years. And yeah, we tried so many different things to fix it too, like put it like, in a bowl of water with like toothpaste or whatever, or just wipe it to death with Kleenex and like you name it, we tried it. Um, what else? What else? What else? Oh yeah, Legend of Legaia. I remember my brother and I saw that in if it was still GameStop or if it made the switch to GameStop yet, or it was still Electronic Games or EB Games, whatever it was back then. But yeah, Legend of Legaia, for whatever reason, we thought it was a sequel to one of the Wild Arms games. I don't remember why. I guess it had a similar art style to Wild Arms 2, like, I think. This would have been like 15 years ago, so I don't remember for sure. I just remember that we thought that way back when. Oh, man. Oh, Xenogears also, by the way. I really need to play through that sometime. I have it on my PS Vita. On one of my memory sticks. I forget which one. I have 3 of them. I have a 4 gig, an 8 gig, and a 16 gig one. It's on one of them. But I really do need to play that some more. I mean, what else? I'm trying to look through just a list of games here for one thing. I mean, obviously 7, 8, and 9. I mean, Final Fantasy 7, 8, and 9. Need I say more? Not really. Oh, Star Ocean 2. That also reminds me, apparently they're remaking or remastering the PSP version of that for the PS4 and PS Vita, I believe. I saw that on an article a few weeks ago, I believe. It'll have trophies, I think updated graphics, other fun stuff too, I believe I saw. I would have to pull up the article to see, as I don't fully remember. I know I saw I know I saw it, but I forget what all it entailed there. And also, quick shout out to just some of the other random games on here, like the other genres that I haven't delved into as much, really. Like the Resident Evil games, the first couple that started on the PS1, Metal Gear Solid, Parasite Eve 1 and 2, some of the horror games on there as well. Oh, another shout out here. My brother and I had a PS1 demo disc years back, and a game that we always played together that probably no one's ever heard of, or I would guess very, very few people have heard of. Fisherman's Bait: A Bass Challenge. It is what you think it is. It is a fishing game for the PS1. I don't know what it was, but we played that all the time. It was so much fun. We would put on the timer for 300 seconds or just 5 minutes and just fish and fish and fish for days. And we absolutely loved it. We even tried playing it on the PS1 emulator with two controllers or controller and a keyboard, what have you. And we just play that for fun. It was one of our favorite games growing up for whatever reason. I don't think we ever did get the full game though. Not that I recall anyway. Crassus Pompey, can you not? Pompey, get off of him. And he just... You guys are so weird. Anyway, so yeah, there's that. The Crash Bandicoot games. You have Crash 1, Crash 2, Crash Warped, Crash Team Racing. Oh, Crash Bash, by the way. I would love to have that with multiplayer. Like, I know it did back then, obviously. But, like, a revamped Crash Bash on the PS3 with online multiplayer, and, like, more stages, more characters and whatnot. That would be cool as shit. You know what else would be cool? How about a brand new Crashing for the PS4? And a new Spyro with that. How about that? Could you imagine a next-gen Spyro or Crash game? I'm picturing it right now, and it fucking looks gorgeous, I swear to God. But also, yeah, Spyro 1, Spyro 2. I think there were 3 Spyro games made for the PS1. There's the first one. I think there's Year of the Dragon was the second one. There's one more as well. I haven't really played those as much. I'm only familiar with the first one, really. And I know there was at least one for the PS2, if I recall. I'll get to the PS2 episode sometime here soon. But yeah, I think there was one or two of them made for that. But yeah, like I said, I'm only familiar with the PS1 version, well, the very, very first one, really. But yeah, this thing, oh, I was just saying my TV just went black for a second. I was like, what's going on? Anyway, yeah, this thing, memories abound. I still have a copy. I still have an old PS1 lying around. I don't think it's here. It's I think packed up away at home in Pennsylvania there. But I also have a PS2, so that takes care of all my PS1 needs anyway. Plus, I have an emulator. But yeah, there's so many games still that I have not played for this. I mean, I need to play through Xenogears. There's like Thousand Arms, Legend of Legaia, Grandia 1 and Grandia 2. There's one I just thought of. Oh, Suikoden 2. I mean, obviously. Both 1 and 2 are on the PSN, I believe. I think 3 actually is as well. It just came out for the PS2 classes not too long ago there, so I'll have to pick that up at some time here soon. I mean, like I said earlier, this system has something for literally every type of gamer. It has sports, RPGs, first-person shooters, action-adventure, platformers, horror. You name it, this thing has it. And I mean, there's many reasons why it's my all-time favorite system. I could go on and on and on, but we're already 13 minutes. So I think I made my point fairly clear with this one today. And of course, guys, as per always, I want to hear from you as well. I want to hear when you first got the system, what your favorite game or games were for it. I'm sure there's plenty of people that have multiple favorite games for this thing. And some favorite memory as well. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. I sure as hell did making it. And with that, guys, this has been Mr. Movies 87 signing off. Have a great day, and thanks for watching.